DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another one. We're doing a gig announcement today, and I'm super looking forward to announcing this one. It's an absolute pleasure and a vibe to announce this one. This booking, it's a little bit special for me. It's a little bit special because of where it is. And yes, that is right. You have read the title correct. I have been booked to do a gig at the Book in Driffield. So for those of you who live under a rock, or if you haven't followed me for a long time, like if you're quite a new follower, then basically I lived in Driffield for most of my life. I literally grew up there. I went to the schools there. Driffield was my hometown. It's where I was always originally from. And it wasn't till like 5, 6 years ago, nearly now. Well, no, maybe a bit less. I think 2020. So about 4 years. I took the decision to move to Hull to better my music career because there was nothing in Driffield for me. There was no one really mixing, there was no one really too much into the music that I was into, there was no one to really link up with. And then coming to Hull, there was all these people that were like, yeah, come and have a mix at mine and do this and do that. And it was so much more exciting for me as an upcoming artist, and it was people to, at that point in my life, it was people to have fun with and party with, and people that somewhat shared the same interest as me, which was the love for this rave music. So I moved, and Driffield always still kind of holds a special place in my heart. It will always kind of be home to me. Like, I can move towns or cities and do loads of other great things and meet loads of new people, but Driffield will always be sort of like the home, and there's always something that will make me go back there to visit like grandparents and stuff, and really good. So the Book Driffield have booked me for a night where I'm going to be DJing and just essentially bringing the party. I can't wait for it. So the someone from the book texted me on Saturday, and they were really lucky that they actually got me because they text on my Facebook DJ page. And I've got to be honest with you, I don't really use that page. I should use it more, but it's really off-putting and complicated when because what they've done now is Facebook pages. They've become more like profiles instead of pages. So instead of just like typing in your page and then going to your page and posting on it, you have to literally like switch accounts, and you have to switch into your page's account, and you have to wait for it to load, and every time you want to post something, you've got to do this switch, and then you're on this almost like a separate account, and you're not on your main account. So it really off-putting. And when I transitioned from MCing to DJing, that page kind of really started to go downhill, and people weren't liking the posts. And I think sort of about a year ago, I tried to do a bit of a push on it, and it just didn't work. And I found personally that when I post DJ related stuff on my normal Facebook, or like anything music wise, it just seems to get likes, and it seems to get a buzz. So I just thought, I might as well just post on here, really. Like, it's Facebook, people know me on Facebook, they get me on here for what I do. And I just think it's really good in that sense. And it's just like, it's just an actual vibe for me to be able to, just to post stuff on my normal Facebook, because I'm not really one like some people on Facebook. They'll be like, oh, I'm gonna keep my normal account for all things non-music related, and I can understand it to a degree, but like I'm not really a non-music related person, so yeah, doing my gigs and stuff, but then you won't like see me going and playing football on a Sunday. You don't see me going and playing darts like once a week. So I haven't really got a need to really post anything that's not like music related, other than like sharing a funny video, or I don't know, just sharing something. But usually 9 times out of 10 I'm sharing something music related. So you know, my life, it is just music really. So for me, having like just the two separate profiles doesn't really make a difference to me, because like I am posting like on my main profile like, look what I'm having for tea. Like, I suppose, you know, if I have something for tea or I go and eat somewhere and it is like really, really nice to the point where like I've got to share and let people know, or I've like met up with some other musicians and we're having a bite to eat or something, then yeah, a photo might go up. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm just posting something music related. So it makes sense that I just don't waste time switching sort of between accounts. So anyway, she'd messaged this my DJ page, and luckily it come up as a notification in my notifications that someone had messaged. And you don't see the full message, but it gives you like a little brief of the couple of lines. And I knew that it was going to be a booking. I just didn't know exactly what, so obviously I'd switched over to the page to see what it was, and then sure enough, it was a booking. So I said, look, message my not, I then went back to my normal account and added the person, and then sent her a text and just said, look, I don't use that page that much. You know, you might be better off texting me on here. And then we went from there. So I'm excited to announce that on the 29th of June, I am coming to the Book Driffield, and I am bringing a night of clubland, bounce, hard dance. Just gonna bring a mixture of all sorts. It'll mainly be like clubland and bounce, and it'll be more like on the commercial, like cheesy side of things. Like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of sing-alongs, classics, remixes of some popular tracks. But you know, it's going to be a shed load of fun. So I'll kind of be starting. I mean, I'm just going to do a mix. I don't think there's going to really be like a section where I'm just going to do clubland, and then a section as such where there might be a section where I'll probably just end up playing a lot of bounce, because I've got more bounce tracks than I've got clubland tracks. But I'm going to try and keep everything sort of on the commercial side of things as I can. So like remixes, you know, Special D, Come With Me, Pretty Green Eyes. I'll be playing all of them. Entrance, Set You Free, all of them vibes, all of them tracks. I'll be booting them tracks out. And just having just having a really, really good time, and just really looking forward to it. So that's really exciting for me, because like I say, Driffield is where it all started for me. That's where my whole sort of like music journey began. When I first started sort of attempting to DJ sort of 10 years ago, before I gave up, and then I started the MCing journey and the rapping journey in Driffield, and some of my first MCs that were quite popular at the time, and a couple of people, they still bring them up to this day. And I don't know if that's just like people that just live in the past, and people that haven't moved on and haven't seen the stuff that I'm doing now, or whether it's just a genuine, you know what, like that was actually a classic. And one of them was a track called One Bed Flat, and that was like one of the second ever MCs that I ever did, and the flow was so like shocking, and it was out of time. But the lyric actually wasn't too bad. It was about sort of like meeting a girl in a pub, and then this girl tells me that she lives in a one bed flat. And it was quite a good lyric for the time, to say I'd just started out. And then I spat it, and it was like my second ever MC video. And then I think a couple of years down the line, I redid it, and I redid a version of it, and I think it's still on Facebook, and I studio recorded it, and I found a remix of the beat that I was using, and I just redid another version of it. I went to some guy's house, and he had a little bit of a studio in there. And I remember, because I remember it really well, because I messed up, and not on the actual track, but there was something I said in the track. So I did like the whole one bed flat bit, and I started like freestyling at the like after I'd spat the bit about the one bed flat, and I said something like it was something, and then I said like I'm gonna blow you up like a Taliban. I don't know why I said it at the time, and anyway, little did I not think at the time that the guy who had gone to the studio, they were actually like foreign, and his mum and dad or whatever, they were actually like, they were from that kind of like like Muslim kind of type things and all of that, and what I'd said, like I don't think she'd heard it, but like it could have come across as obviously quite offensive at the time, and I just spat it. It was just part. I was freestyling. It just kind of came out, and then he was like, like you, and then he kind of warned me after, like, what, you said that, bro, and and that was mad, because yeah, if I remember rightly, he came and knocked at my house and he picked me up. Like came and called for me, and we walked up to his house, to his studio. I was quite nervous at the time, and this would be like maybe 2016, nearly going on nearly early 2017. He was rapping himself, but he was doing sort of like different style to me. But it was mad. So Driffield has played a big part in sort of like my sort of like post getting sort of like bookings career, if that makes sense. I mean, I got my first ever booking was in Driffield. It was at the rugby club, and that was a really good vibe. And everybody was actually, believe it or not, they were so supportive at the rugby club. And I'll never forget it. I gigged there twice, and both times they went round with a cup, and like loads of people inside the rugby club. They all filled it with money, and I felt so grateful. Like there was people putting coins in, there was people putting notes in. Bearing in mind they'd already agreed to pay me for doing the performance. It was only like an half an hour thing, and it was my first ever booking. So I really charged them like something really ridiculously small. Like I think I might have even said something like 30 quid, like just bungers 30 quid, because I kind of knew who they were. Like, because I'd gone to school with a lot of people that was in the rugby team, and it was really an experience for me, and I wasn't really expecting to really get anything. So when there was kind of like, we'll bung you some money for half an hour, and that kind of thing. So obviously, I was like proper buzzed at the time. It was like a proper, really, really good vibe. Big shout to Ian. So yeah, so of course I was proper buzzed, and then 2019 was when I first started getting sort of like more bookings and out of town and doing things with stomping, and that's where it kind of changed for me. But yeah, so Driffield kind of still holds that sort of special place for me. So I'm looking forward to going back, and I'm looking forward to showing the people that were kind of there back then. Providing who obviously comes out in force and attends the event. But it'd be really good to come back to Driffield and kind of show people what, this is what I can do now. This is me now. Because I'm a lot different, obviously, to what I was back then. Um, you know, and that's not to come across all like big headed and to show off, but just to kind of be like, look, this is me now. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, unfortunately, the layman, he was supposed to be doing this with me, and he well, like, I asked him if he was free on the day, and then at first he was like, yeah, I'm free, yeah, let's do it. And then I was talking backwards and forwards, sort of like between the club, like the pub, and then he actually realised he wasn't free, and he was actually already booked somewhere else, and then the pub already sort of wanted to go ahead with the date. Which was a little bit gutting, because I would have liked to have maybe pushed it back a little bit, but then there was already a poster made and it penciled a date in, and it just really annoyed me. So hopefully, we can return it again at some point, and I'll have the layman with me, because when I do these like clublandy sets and stuff, the layman hosts me. We always bring a vibe. When we do like the kids raves and stuff, we always bring a vibe. Layman brings a vibe himself, and it's kind of something that I kind of when I do stuff like this, I always like to include the layman, because I think that layman and noble, although we're not necessarily a duo, it has kind of become a thing, and people do kind of sort of like call us like layman and noble, as you kind of would like Dougal and Gamma. So it's a really it's a really like a big thing for us, and the layman hosts me, and we take turns. You do mix remixes. Yeah, I do make remixes and bootlegs. I started making remixes when I started producing, as kind of like a way just to learn production, because you've kind of got all the when you're doing a remix, you get all the assets there. So for example, you get the vocal, you get the MIDI, and you can find out kind of like what key tracks are in and what BPM the vocals are at, and it really helps when you're just learning. And plus, when you play a lot of sets, people like to hear like songs that they recognise. Whereas if you just went and played like a full set of original music, people wouldn't like it. And a lot of people like other artists, and a lot of people like Bounce is a big one, because Bounce gets remixed and bootlegged all the time, and every week like Bounce Evan are just releasing bootlegs and remixes of tracks, and people get sick of it and people get bored of it. And I know I can kind of understand where they're coming from, but from a crowd perspective, people like them feel good, sing along tracks. Someone remixes, I don't know, say Heaven is a Place on Earth, and you drop it in a set, hands in the air, people are going to sing it. So I think personally, like it's good to make original music, and I aren't saying don't make original music, because it's good, and you could make the next track that blows up. And I think make original music along with making bootlegs, because then sort of in your set you can drop a couple of original tracks, like just to see what the kind of like how the feel is with it. Whether people like it, whether people don't like it. But if you don't sort of play stuff that people know, you are 9 times out of 10 gonna sort of like clear the dance floor. And playing like different versions and different remixes to some extent kind of keeps it fresh. So I understand, like from a market point of view, like doing these bootlegs and remixes, they're gonna make your sets go down, a whole lot more better. And they're going to make people enjoy a set a lot more, because it's something they know, it's a melody they recognise, or it's a vocal they can sing along to. So it's a bit of a tough one. I'm not completely against bootlegging and remixing, because of course I do it myself, but there's people out there that do go, it's just another remix, I'm getting sick of them, I'm just sick of it, it's just another remix. It's just the same tunes getting remixed, and like I say, to an extent it is. But like from a marketing point of view, it is like something that's going to do well on a dance floor. However, if there is certain tracks, and they've been remixed too many times, like how I suppose there's I'm trying to think of like examples of tracks. It's somewhat like Pretty Green Eyes. Like, how many times has Pretty Green Eyes been remixed? Do you know what I'm saying? And I can understand from that point of view, it gets a little bit boring. And I think if you are going to remix something, try and be a little bit different, and try and find stuff that hasn't been done. Especially if you're gonna like sort of put it out there and release it. I think if you want to do a remix of something that's been done a million times, just because you like that song, or it holds a place in your heart, or it's something that you've always wanted to do, then by all means, go and give that a go. Go and give it a go, and go and give it a shot, and just keep it for yourself and play it in your sets. Whereas I think if you putting something out that's been done a million times, yes, it will get boring. But yeah, so I do bootlegs all the time. I'm actually working on one at the moment, but this one actually hasn't been done a lot of times, so it's quite a good vibe. Um, so yeah, but yeah, so the book Driffield, I'm coming for you. Um, I'm looking forward to it. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. I'll also be announcing another gig very soon. It's actually for the day before, the 28th of June. So we've got a mega enjoyable weekend that weekend. It's going to be really enjoyable. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, I don't think